Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the AfterTaste Movie Podcast. I'm here in the AfterTaste Studios again with a couple of my most favorite people in the world, and David. David, you're to my right. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great.
I really enjoy you too. I don't know why I excluded you as the only other person in this room besides Chelsea. Chelsea, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Chelsea, it's good to have you as always. Anything? How was your day today?
It was good. It was a little kind of all over the place, but it was good.
I feel it. I feel it on a deep emotional level. So on my first topic today, which is some Matt Reeves Batman casting news. It was speculated for a very long time that Jonah Hill was in negotiations to play the villain for the upcoming Batman film. And it looks like he got offered it, but decided to pass. Pretty much a couple hours later, Paul Dano was announced as the Riddler. And also, basically on the same day, it was announced that Zoe Kravitz was cast as Selena Kyle, which is Catwoman. Chelsea, how big of a loss do you think it is to lose like Jonah Hill from your franchise, basically?
Honestly, it was a shocker. I mean, considering how we on this very podcast talked about it and kind of gave it,
David, were you here for that conversation?
I don't think so.
Oh, all right. New conversation for David.
praised it, and we had high hopes and everything. I guess for me personally, it is a shock. I was really thinking that they were going to be able to pull this off, considering the stuff he's been doing recently, the last couple of years, like with his own debut film, being on Netflix, like with Maniac.
Yeah, it just came out with mid-90s this last year.
Mid-90s.
He's been doing lots of good stuff. He did have a high asking price too. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Then. He wanted like $10 million compared to Robert Pattinson's $5 million, which is like, all right, I guess I'm going to be one of the 5 villains in your movie, and Batman's getting paid half of what it is, basically. Yeah. I guarantee you Paul Dano did not get $10 million, which is unfortunate. Apparently, Paul Dano was actually in the running for a very long time. It was either going to be Jonah Hill or it was going to be Paul Dano.
Okay.
David, do you know who Paul Dano is?
I did not know who Paul Dano was until yesterday.
Oh, right. Have you seen any of his movies? Internal Spotlight,
Little Miss Sunshine.
Little Miss Sunshine. That's
I saw that.
Movie.
That was a good one.
Was a good one.
Remind me again his earlier works.
There Will Be Blood. He was. That was a good one. Besides that, I don't really know him from much else. He was in Swiss Army Man. You don't know that one either.
He does he's a very prolific character actor.
Yes.
A lot of times is when there's a big an assemble piece, he'll kind of be an antagonist or something. He has a very big range of movies under his belt. He was in Looper. He was in 12 Years a Slave.
He
was he's always kind of a bitish part, sort of.
Yeah, he's very much a character actor, and also I think it's a really cool acquisition because whereas where Jonah Hill, he was going to bring a certain aspect to the Riddler, which could have been kind of goofy, but with a lot of gravitas because he's had a lot of roles like that.
Yeah.
But Paul Dano's always played a character which has the weirdness to it, which the Riddler needs.
Yeah.
But has extreme gravitas. He's always played a mystery in every single movie he plays, but he can play it with that much behind it. So
most of the films I've seen Jonah Hill play, they haven't really been the twisted kind of, crazy character from what I've seen. So I feel like, he's a great talent, but I think they can move on, confidently with a new face and and then just retake that character, the Riddler, back to our generation of films, because Batman Forever, we shall forget about it ever existed. So this will be a good redemption.
I don't know
start.
if everybody agrees with you with that one, but it certainly had its point in the lore of Batman for sure.
Yeah.
But this movie is already been said it's going to be basically a noir. There's going to be gravitas behind it. It's going to be obviously not going to be the Joker. Oh man, remember I said I got to press this button so that doesn't happen. Basically, it's going to be more of a drama-based film than it is going to be anything of the Batman versus Superman type of movies.
Oh, yeah,
you could almost call movies that weren't quite movies.
Yeah.
But, so Paul Dano is going to bring something to it. Zoe Kravitz, though. Are you excited for Zoe Kravitz to come as Catwoman?
Yeah,
right?
I am.
Yeah, she's always played a very, very deep character, and in all of her roles, she's kind of come off as a mysterious type of feel, which I think in this movie, it's going to be a whole bunch of villains, and Batman's not going to be able to solve the whole issue, so it might be a little bit of Zoe Kravitz plays this mysterious is she with Batman as she is in type of feel, which she plays very well. She's been in like a million different movies. She's in the I can't believe Fantastic Beasts is the first thing I think of with Lestrange, but like she's in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
David, are you a fan of Zoe Kravitz?
I am. I like her work.
You like her dad's work?
Well, I'm a little on the fence.
A little. Okay.
What about her stepdad?
Stepdad?
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, he's a piece of work. That's a good actor. I gotta say. Well, I felt, honestly, I felt like they could have chose a different character, but I guess if they are gonna do like two villains with how Robert Pattinson's gonna deal with that as Batman, I guess it's a good approach. But I would have liked to see a Batwoman, someone. And kind of see if a sidekick kind of component, because of all the Batman movies that we've seen as of recently, there hasn't really been a sidekick. It's just him doing his own thing, and how he goes about doing that. And I feel like they really missed that, because I mean we've seen a lot of Catwomen, and a lot of them did a great job in my opinion. So they don't need to overdo it.
Yeah.
So I'm impartial on this.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, Zoe Kravitz is not the conventional pick by any means. All the other selections for the movie, you'd think, wow, that's out of nowhere. When somebody chose Zoe Kravitz to pick this movie, I was like, well, okay, that makes sense. So it's kind of a weird feel for me. But then again, I'm excited to see what she can do. I'm excited to see a woman of color kind of doing this as well.
Yeah.
I know that, Halle Berry also played Catwoman back in the day. But it's cool to see some. Oh, it's always good to see diversity out there as well.
Yeah, or Eartha Kitt, the original Catwoman from like the Adam West Batman. I thought she was good in that. Even though it was campy, but I thought she was great in that.
Campy's not bad. Campy's great. I don't
No,
know
I
what
know.
your problem is, David. You like camp? No answer. I get it. All right. So we'll keep an eye on this, because it kind of seems to change from week to week. We literally just reported on this like a couple weeks ago. And Jonah Hill's decided to go do better and bigger things, and more power to him. So we're going to move on to the next topic today, which is Elton John was not happy with the remake of The Lion King. So he was a little bit bummed out. He actually said it was a disappointment. His exact quote was, "The new version of The Lion King was a huge disappointment to me because I believe they messed up the music. Music was such a big part of the original, and the music in the current film didn't have the same impact. The magic and joy was lost. The soundtrack hasn't had nearly the impact it had 25 years ago, when it was also the best-selling album of the year. The new soundtrack fell out of the charts so quickly, despite a massive box office success." Chelsea, first, do you agree that this Lion King was a disappointment?
Well, confession time, I actually didn't see it.
Oh, God. It's okay. I mean, a lot of people didn't run out right away to watch The Lion King. There was a lot of the stigma behind it. Like, this animation is basically a shot for shot. Why do I need to see this?
Yeah.
And it's totally understandable. So I know people that haven't seen that film. Did you actually see that movie?
I didn't either.
Wow, it was a great conversation. All right. All right.
I mean, you got to take Elton John's criticism to a point, because he's such a talent.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of the people where I heard their opinion about this movie, it wasn't the music right away. It was the animation and all this and that, and how it wasn't exactly the way it was. But I feel like you can take that for a grain of salt. But it is what it is. It's still a Lion King movie, and it probably still has its demographic, and it made good money. So
it did make good money. So you have to kind of look at it as like a disappointment. How was it a disappointment? Obviously, box office, it was a major success, like the second highest grossing film this year, until Star Wars comes out and destroys it.
yeah,
And then for the most part, it was the audiences enjoyed it. But then again, a lot of people did pan the music. I think the part of the movie that fell apart the most for me itself was the music. Beyonce Knowles came in, and Jay-Z, they did a lot of the remixing of the music, and they were big on doing stuff. Elton John even came back and did a new original song for it. So I don't know what his problem is. He made one of the songs. But a lot of it was kind of weak. Beyonce had a full song, which was during one of the climactic like emotional parts of the movie, and it really took most people out of it, and it was like the worst part of the movie for me. So I understand where it doesn't have the magic, it doesn't have the joy.
Yeah.
Just like with all these live action movies, they do change things to fit the film slightly because they move things around basically. But I thought the movie was a success, but it's not going to be remembered for the most part. So I see what he is saying on that. But with the release of all these live Disney movies, how do you feel about the adaptation of classical music in general? Are you okay with them moving songs and slightly like that, or do you think they need to stay? They have an obligation to stay with the IP.
I feel like it's kind of a mixed bag because for me personally, I do have kind of a mix to like lukewarm reaction to all the live action remakes because I'm kind of in the camp where like just go back and watch the cartoons, you know, sort of thing. Not saying that I didn't enjoy what they've done, just I think they're okay to me in my sense. In terms of music, I do love music. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say because I feel like on one end they want to keep with like the tradition of like the original piece, and they want to like kind of like keep the, I guess, like legacy, but at the same time I totally understand for them like wanting to like branch out and do something different, you know, out of like, I guess you can say like the obligation sense.
Yeah, and all these people, they come in to make these movies, and they're not the same people that made these original movies. Everybody sees movies differently, and basically from that you're gonna want to change things slightly here and there. But a lot of fans do find that to be a little bit of a no problem. David, do you think that they should be obligated to keep this stuff, or if they should have the right to move things around without too much criticism?
Well, I feel like they should just kind of do their own twist to it, and they will, regardless of people's opinions of it. And my biggest takeaway with these movies is that it's great, but something else kind of pulled me away from it. Like the two that come to my mind would be the Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin. Like Aladdin was great, but until the end, there was like that last minute like girl power kind of segment to it.
David, I'm gonna fight you on this one, but yeah.
But
go for it.
but then Beauty and the Beast, I forget exactly what it was, but towards the end, but part of that pulled me away from it. So the special effects of both movies were fantastic. Everything was great, but it was something like this. So I agree with Chelsea.
So we are going to move on to a new topic. There's a new Disney trailer out. The Jungle Cruise has dropped online. Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt starring in this new film from a Disney ride, kind of following in the Pirates of the Caribbean predecessor type of film. Chelsea, did you see it?
I did.
What did you think about it? Are you excited about this movie at all?
I like that. Like when I had like watched it and I had like seen like the Disney brand, it has like a very I'll probably even use this for the second trailer when we get to that, but I would say it has a whimsical feel to it. It's like a lightheartedness to it, and I appreciate it. I think because of the fact it's not like a famous like IP like a live action something, like it's literally based off a ride, and I have no expectations. That does make me generally excited for it because I'm like, I don't know because I've never been on that ride, so I don't know what to expect going in.
Absolutely. The Pirates of the Caribbean ride, very much like when they did make these movies, it's a classic ride that's been, for people who go to Disneyland, it's one of the biggest rides there is.
Okay.
Notably wise. Doesn't mean it's like an hour-long ride, but when you go there, you recognize you're going to be on a boat, you're going to go on a cheesy tour, and you're going to get a whole bunch of cheesy jokes by this high school kid, basically making a whole bunch of puns. And that's basically what the Jungle Cruise is. And I felt a lot of that in this movie, but it was Dwayne Johnson telling the jokes, which is awesome, to be completely honest. David, what did you think?
I thought the trailer was great. It really did set the tone.
Right?
Emily Blunt's great. Dwayne Johnson's great. It's going to be a good whimsical movie. Totally, I agree with that. And I don't think it's gonna necessarily hit the popularity as Pirates of the Caribbean, but that's just because they're two different motifs. And
Disney's looking for its next thing. Like it has all of its Marvels, its Star Wars, it's got its shows and stuff. But as far as like its own like Pirates, it doesn't have that right now because Pirates has basically died out with the last film. Chelsea, do you think it could reach anywhere close to the heights of eventually get to the heights of Pirates of the Caribbean?
I don't know.
I'd say, yeah.
It's hard to say because it makes me think back back to the original Pirates of the Caribbean. Like did they always intend for it to be a franchise, or was it just because it was
think so.
a surprise hit that they kept churning out sequels and everything?
I think they put it. You don't cast Johnny Depp unless you think. I mean, back then when Johnny Depp was cast, he was one of the biggest actors in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Kind of like Dwayne the Rock Johnson. If you think that you have this IP that can make multiple movies, and you cast such big superstars like The Rock, Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom was big at the time as well.
Yeah.
And then Emily Blunt. These are people that you kind of expect to make a franchise out of. And it'll be interesting. I will say that I'm a little worried with Dwayne The Rock Johnson, just because he's kind of become a weird caricature right now that he's stuck in with kind of the Jumanji feel. This is like his third type of movie, which is basically just feels like Jumanji. Rampage was one that kind of felt like it. Jumanji obviously is one. The second Jumanji, which is coming out in December, is another one.
Yeah.
Do you think that'll affect how people see it, and they might get a little bit fatigued with The Rock? Which is crazy to say, because he's in 95 movies a year.
Right. I guess going off what you said, I think it's kind of yes and no, because on one hand, I don't know what the mindset of the general audiences in terms of it's Dwayne Johnson in this type of fantasy driven movie again, rinse and repeat. I don't know if people would get fatigued by him. I mean, I certainly think that he might need to slow down just a bit, but he can do whatever he wants at the same time.
He's a notable actor for basically only making movies that have sort of a happy-go-lucky feel, and he's got a brand, so it's kind of. I do worry, because people are gonna just come to expect this happy-go-lucky tale and that removes a lot of stakes if someone's gonna be fine at the end.
Yeah.
At least with Pirates of the Caribbean, there was always at least some sort of peril, and there was gonna be another movie, so it's not like.
Yeah.
You a Dwayne Johnson fan?
As long as it's this is not another cheesy action movie, then I'm totally fine with it.
You're not a bit. Listen, I'm gonna fight you again.
I can't deal with another skyscraper or a Fast and the Furious or a disaster movie coming up. I'd rather watch Jungle Cruise over and over and over if that's the movie I'm gonna get than action movies that I'm probably gonna fall asleep to.
Listen, there's something wrong with you. First of all. There's something about these cheesy action. It's a brand, though. I mean, there's something about those type of movies that has a thing for me. I just love them. You could sit in the freaking movie theater, eat a whole bunch of popcorn. Dwayne the Johnson, he's jumping over a 50-foot ledge onto another building that's on fire. He's got one leg. He's fighting a big flying crocodile. There's something about it's a certain type of cinematic going that a lot of people do enjoy. So I understand his brand and his appeal, but yeah, with this movie, I'm assuming Disney wants more, because Disney's also signed him on to do a TV show on their Disney Plus side, which is basically him going behind the scenes of all the Disneyland rides and kind of talking to fans and stuff like that. So they're trying to push him further into that Disney brand. They're trying to get him in there, basically. And so we'll see if he's if this movie will be able to do anything close to Pirates. Like I said, I do worry a little bit about this movie. And the trailer itself didn't really. It had the magic of a Disney film, but it also didn't really give me a lot of excitement. Emily Blunt has also been. She reached her heights a couple years ago, and she's taken a few movies over the last couple years that have not really excited me. And I thought she was okay in Mary Poppins. Did you watch Mary Poppins?
No, I didn't.
You didn't watch Mary Poppins, David? You didn't. Did anybody watch the original Mary Poppins?
Oh yeah.
Well, the original,
all right,
yeah, of course.
But she did a good job in that, but she wasn't as strong as she's been in the last couple of years. So it's a little worrisome to see two of the stars probably that were at the peak of their game a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Now get to this and worry that maybe it's a little bit too late to catch the franchise roller coaster along the way. So we're just going to move on from this nice conversation of Disney, which we basically talked about for 3 weeks. David, do you listen to the show?
Oh, I listen. Oh, yeah.
David, thanks for listening to the show. You're excellent. So we've been talking a lot about Disney lately, but we're going to talk about something that's a little bit of a family-friendly affair. But actually, I don't even know if this one is a family-friendly affair. To be completely honest, I'm talking about the new Doolittle trailer featuring Robert Downey Jr. as... is he even a doctor? Do we know?
I don't think he's gonna be a doctor.
He
doesn't look like a doctor.
Like stethoscope.
I don't see the stethoscope. I don't see the white coat. But you know what?
No,
It's fine.
Eddie Murphy
it's fine.
was a doctor. He was a doctor of his arts.
Robert Downey Jr. is a fantastic actor, so
He's
we
excellent.
can just leave it at that.
But yeah, anyway, Chelsea, are you excited to see Robert Downey Jr. in a movie that's not Marvel? Marvel, yeah.
Yes, I am, because I personally think, like, with one thing, he does have like such like a big legacy that he's leaving behind with, you know, being in Marvel for like 10 plus years, all those Iron Man films, and essentially like exposing a younger generation to his works. Of course, a lot of those are younger, and I'm not entirely sure how many of those people have like seen like a lot of his movies, like pre-Iron Man and then a few post-Iron Man, because I love him and I've seen just about every one of his movies. I'm really looking forward to like whatever project he takes next, and this Disney one I think is sweet because he's got a couple of like young children, so I think it'd be nice for family.
He just loves the world 3000.
3000.
David, are you a fan of Robert Downey Jr. when it comes outside of the Marvel universe?
Huge fan.
Yeah.
I'm probably an unpopular opinion, but I liked Sherlock Holmes. I like
I like Sherlock.
Yeah.
And one of these that stands out to me is The Judge.
I was just thinking about
such
that
a good
one.
film.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And it just proves how talented he is. Like, he can be a serious superhero.
He's so versatile.
He can be a funny detective, and then he can be a serious guy dealing with family issues.
Right.
And I'm not sure how much that is going to be in Dr. Doolittle, but you know what? It's still going to be a fun movie because there's going to be like a little bit of a fantasy aspect to it.
Yeah.
And just kind of a nice adventure film, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's done lots of films that I have enjoyed since. The Judge is one I was going to bring up. He did an excellent job.
Yeah.
Who did he co-star with?
Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall, man.
Yeah,
He doesn't come out of the woods too often.
He's kind of up there, but he's fantastic.
He is very, very good. Also, another one was The Soloist. Did anybody see The Soloist?
I have the book.
I did not, but I really want to see it.
It was basically Robert Downey Jr. helping out this homeless violinist guy he's played by Jamie Foxx, who was the exact same caricature type of what's his name? Electro from the same character from Electro from the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
But I think he's done a really good job, and I think that he's earned the right to do something big, do something else.
Yeah.
And he's earned the right to be recognized for it. With a lot of these films like Sherlock Holmes, it wasn't widely appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people didn't enjoy. And who directed? I forget. It's
Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah,
Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie made those movies, and not a lot of people enjoy them as much as I think they should have. I enjoyed the heck out of the first one. The second one, Ralph Fiennes as Moriarty was it Ralph Fiennes?
I think it was Jared Harris.
It was Jared Harris. The first Ralph Fiennes played somebody.
I don't remember.
This is baloney. I can't remember. Either way, but they had some good villains. They had some good stories. The cinematography was awesome, literally. But I guess you can't put that on Robert Downey Jr. But doesn't he look like Sherlock Holmes in this trailer? Like, he's just Sherlock Holmes that talks to animals.
Yeah.
Very much the same character, right?
But I discovered, because when I had watched it, I was like, okay, I've seen him like in a handful of movies, like him like doing an accent, and at first I thought it was like his British accent. Mm-hmm. It's a Welsh accent, because I couldn't quite place it. It wasn't like the normal one from like Sherlock Holmes or something like that.
Man of many different talents, I guess. He probably sat there and like, how do I change this slightly so people don't think I'm Sherlock?
Right.
I still think he's Sherlock, though.
I know, right?
Which is unfortunate.
His hair's all messy and stuff.
He's not a doctor. He's like Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. He's out doing something.
Yeah, he just needs Jude Law with him.
He just needs Jude Law.
They'll need a little Jude Law
look out
in
for him.
movies.
Everybody needs a little Jude Law in the movies. movies. Yeah, I'm excited about it. And I'm pretty much at the end of my list here, which sucks because we're only like 26 minutes, so we're going to talk about something else, I think. So, are anybody excited to see any of the movies that are coming out this weekend? It looks like we have Zombieland 2 and Maleficent. I know, David, I know you're not a big fan of all these live-action movies, but Maleficent, did you enjoy the first Maleficent by any chance?
I liked it. It was a little too long for me, but I do enjoy Maleficent as a Disney character.
Yeah, my wife loves her.
Character.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'll watch it. Angelina Jolie, yeah, you're cool. I'll watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed it, and I'm kind of looking forward to the next one. Another movie this weekend, the Zombieland 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally gonna want to see that.
Big fan of the first one.
Big fan.
Man, I
Just
changed my life. When it
the
came out,
editing in that movie, fantastic. Just everything was good. So
it was very well. I forget who did the screenwriting for that. Was that also? I'm gonna have to look that up. Obviously, Ruben Fleischer was the director of the movie, but it was also written. I think it was written by the Deadpool people, if I'm right. I don't know if I'm right, but I saw Zombieland. You should see it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Yeah. Chelsea, are you excited to see either one of those films?
I'm very excited. I did enjoy the first Maleficent movie. It did take me like one or two viewings to kind of for it to settle, but for some reason I think because the stakes are so much higher in the sequel, it does kind of capture my interest a bit more. So I probably will see it, just not right away. But I am very excited for Zombieland 2.
yeah.
Zombieland 2 is, I was very excited about it. It took 10 years to release.
I know.
And just the fact that they got everybody to come back is unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
And they're taking their time, and they're gonna do this movie right. So I feel like
and here's the thing: Jesse Eisenberg's an Oscar-nominated actor now. This has all happened since that movie came out. He's an Oscar-nominated actor. Abigail Breslin got nominated for an Oscar.
Actually, they all have.
I don't remember why. Woody Harrelson hasn't.
No, he hasn't been nominated?
No.
Not once?
No, I looked it up.
I gotta fight the
I
Academy.
was really mad about it. He's
God!
in so many roles, though.
he has.
What?
I know it's a shame that Abigail Breslin got nominated.
Getting
for
close to
Oscar.
DiCaprio.
That breaks my heart. I love him.
He's got to be the next DiCaprio when it comes to long-time Oscar snubs. Yeah, no, I just don't know how he hasn't been.
He's done so many fantastic roles.
Yeah. And there's talks of him being Carnage in the
He is Carnage.
Venom universe.
Did you see the end of Venom?
I did not see Venom.
Damn it.
At all. I'm
He's
kind
Carnage.
of boycotting this.
Don't
So
why? You didn't like Venom?
I didn't.
You didn't watch it.
I didn't. I'm refusing to watch it. So
He's going
I
off
might
that.
have to break that
You
boycott, but
$800 million doesn't lie, David. It made quite a bit of money.
it made quite a bit of movie money,
Yeah.
but they mispronounced symbiote. So come on.
That's it. You're a petty man.
I'm petty when it comes to comic book movies.
Gosh.
I'm
so,
a bit petty too, so.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed Venom. It was a fun popcorn ride.
Yeah.
I thought that movie was gonna be lost to the sands of time though, because they didn't go R with it.
Right.
Venom is such an R type of character.
Exactly.
You thought you'd have to go there, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was enough to be like, you could stay around, basically. Because if you look at characters like Spawn and things like that, they're just stuck in the retroactive, like, maybe we'll make this one day, or maybe we won't.
I know. Todd
McFarlane. Todd McFarlane. Jamie Foxx is going to play Spawn, apparently.
It's like, when is it going to
When
come
is it gonna
out?
happen?
I've heard
I
it for
don't know.
2 years.
And that's the thing. I think Venom did enough to be like, well, I guess it was okay to make this movie.
Yeah.
And I guess you don't have to be in that whole hula-baloo whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I enjoyed that one. But yeah, it was Reese and Paul Wernick that wrote Zombieland the first one.
Okay,
So,
nice.
yeah, so you got the comedy, that you could see the editing and the feel of how they wrote everything into it, which was really good. But all in all, I think it's going to be a pretty good weekend. Jojo Rabbit comes out limitedly this weekend. Unfortunately, it's only in 5. You know what Jojo Rabbit is? You don't know what Jojo Rabbit is.
Okay.
That's all right, David. It's a Hitler movie. It's actually a really interesting story. It's this kid in Germany back in World War II who basically, he's raised one way. You see all the TV ads, and you see Hitler in a certain way. So he basically Taika Waititi plays his imaginary friend who is Hitler, but how he sees him.
Interesting.
So it's very much a movie that's going to be Oscar bait. It's a comedy because Taika Waititi wrote it, and people are loving it. Apparently, it's not as risque as people would think a movie about Hitler is, because literally the poster of this movie is just Taika Waititi as Hitler, smiling and jumping and going like this. So that movie does come out this week, limitedly in 5 different places. Not one of the places I could see. So hopefully sometime soon that'll come out.
Okay.
You guys excited about anything coming up in the next month or two? Month or two. That's like all the movies that come out.
All the
right.
Oscar movies.
Well, I am a little bit late to the party, but I'm going to see Joker tonight.
Seeing Joker tonight. Very
Nice.
nice.
So
Awesome.
I'm really excited for it. I'm kind of sad that they just said like, well, this is it. No more, like, we're not going to cross over with any Matt Reeves universe. So I guess we'll just enjoy it as like a solo movie and be cool with it.
I think you'll understand.
Okay.
At least.
Yeah.
All right.
It's very much a movie that they could take. This may disappoint you, may not disappoint you, but it's very much a movie that they could make the movie and not call it Joker. They could change a few things. It's very much a character study, a character-based movie, psychological study, basically, of a man falling into madness, like the Joker. So they do bring it in. It very much has the Batman lore, and it's got everything in it. But it could go one way or another, to be honest. I mean, I think they could. I think Todd McFarlane made the Joker, right?
Todd Phillips.
Todd McFarlane, Steven Spot. Anyway, he basically came out and he said, like, well, this maybe this isn't even Joker. Maybe this is just the guy that like inspired Joker to come out of Gotham. So it's literally that we don't know. Is what it's
so
so
this
much
is kind of a weird purgatory.
It's a weird
with the Joker
purgatory
thing.
when nobody knows what's actually happening.
Yeah.
But I'll still enjoy it. Like,
But you'll enjoy.
Yeah,
will
you
I
will.
enjoy it as a person who goes to movies and enjoys it, or am I going to enjoy it as a comic book fanboy?
You will
well?
not enjoy this movie as a comic book fanboy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
you'll enjoy parts of it as the throwbacks and the classic feel of the characters, the Waynes and so on and so forth. But I mean, like, you just don't go into it looking like this is going to be Batman's villain in the next movie or something like that, because
Right.
it won't disappoint you, but it will do a disservice to the quality of the film.
Gotcha. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, as is the movie, it's meant to be a conversation starter. It's meant to be disturbing, which the character of Joker is disturbing in the comic books. So it'll be interesting. We'll have to talk to you about how you feel about that.
Exactly.
movie
I
for
will
sure.
gladly.
Yeah, we'll talk once again. Chelsea, is there anything like soon coming up that you're excited about?
I honestly don't know off the top of my head what's coming out.
Like a movie called Black and Blue and the countdown like next week. Terminator's coming out pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
Anybody excited about Terminator?
I am. Absolutely. Especially if they're piggybacking off of the best one that's been made.
Yeah, they are.
They're just like, forget everything that happened. Here's this movie. We're just going to shove it right there, right after the second one.
Right.
And then just enjoy it. And that, to me, is just like mind-blowing.
Did you watch the Halloween movie that came out this last year, which did the exact same thing?
I was just about to mention that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I did. I enjoyed it just because how much I love Halloween.
No, okay.
I love horror movies, so I enjoyed it. And so if they're going to do the same kind of way
Yeah.
how they're going to do Terminator, perfect. Then that's fine with me.
Yeah. I'm excited for Terminator 2. James Cameron is back, and
Yeah.
like you got all the right things to make a good Terminator movie. But I'm so gun shy because of like Genesis just being one of the hardest movies to watch that year.
Yeah.
It was so
Sad.
difficult to watch. It was
Yeah.
like that same year, I think the same year X-Men Apocalypse came out. And it was just a year of just disappointing Fox properties that just couldn't do it and bummed me out. I
Yeah.
literally killed Fox, I think. I think X-Men Apocalypse killed Fox.
Yeah, that was a hard
Because
year.
they literally sold like the next year. They're
Yeah.
like, I guess we're selling to Disney.
They're like,
We can't make any more mutant movies and we're done. But yeah, I think the next couple weeks are going to be a little bit slow when it comes to new releases because we've had some big ones recently, so they need some time to flesh out there. I think Halloween's coming up pretty soon. I think we might be doing a Halloween review special on this show, David. I don't know. Do you like horror films at all?
I am a huge horror fan.
Are you a huge horror? Crap! I can't. Why did I think to talk to you, David? I thought you were just a nerd.
Well, I'm a mix of nerdiness. I'm a mix of horror movies, and
All right.
it's just
Cool, man.
it's all good.
We got to figure something out to get you back on then, David.
You should. That'd be fun.
What's your favorite horror film, David? What type of horror films do you enjoy? I guess that'd be more of a fair conversation.
We'll just continue with Halloween. I mean, to me, that's just fucking creepy, and it's great. And, you know, I love my Jason, I love my Freddy's, but this one just has like a feeling of realisticness that comes to it. Like, any huge buff dude's gonna break into your house and kill you while you're babysitting. What the hell?
It's the shape, right? Like,
the shape.
It's real life, man. He could be in that closet
He could.
behind you right now. And that's the scariness of it. Yeah. I also am a huge fan of the classics, the Halloweens. It screams a classic, right? I mean, like Freddy, freaking Krueger, man. Like all these Nightmare Before Elm Streets. I mean, those are my things. I'm not as big of a fan as like some of these Insidious films, as some of these other films. But yeah, horror is all right for me. I'm a scaredy cat though, so I watch a movie and I really cower and I like. I'll look up in the corner of my bedroom and I'll be like, "Oh my god!" I'll turn my lights on. Like, all right, we're fine.
It's just a coat.
My wife hates me. But we're gonna be doing some stuff coming up here with that, and we'll be releasing those. I think we're doing like a 7 days up to Halloween. It's gonna be fun.
Yes,
so,
I'm excited.
We'll talk after the show, David, and possibly get you back on here for some of that stuff.
Fantastic.
So that's gonna be it for our show today on the AfterTaste Movie Podcast. David, what are you doing these days? Do you have anything to talk about that you want to go off on?
Not much, really. Just kind of working away, going to school.
David, I hear you're going to be an electrician one day.
I am. That's my goal. I want to make some good money and hopefully save the money and live in this town.
David, that's an excellent goal. Making money and keeping money is always a good thing. Yep. Chelsea, what you got going on? You're the most creative person I know. What do you got going on?
I'm taking commissions right now on my coffee account, which is spelled ko-if.com, and my user handle is Oceluna at OCELUNA, and I'm pretty much taking any commission at this moment.
David, have you seen her art?
Seen what?
Have you seen her art?
Her art? No, I have not. And
David, you need to see her art. It's spectacular. Some of the best stuff I've ever seen.
I am not a creative individual, but I do appreciate a good piece of art.
I can vouch for that. You see that Joker, David?
That's fantastic.
That's a water painting. Was it water painting?
Yeah. Digital. Like, it's a digital art.
Still,
yeah.
it's difficult.
But if you didn't tell me if it was digital, I would be like, you just painted that in your garage.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Like, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
Excellent still. It's some of the best
kind of stuff
ever.
that people should
check her out
pay money for.
Check her out on Coffee. Ose Luna, something.
Something.
All right, cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning into the AfterTaste Movie Podcast. I am Barno. Check me out on Twitter at Barno_922 or on AfterTaste Movies, AfterTaste Movie, or you can check us out on Maybe It's a Network is what we're broadcasting out of. On Twitter, Maybe It's a Network. Network spelled NETWRK. That's it. I'm tired of cursing at Twitter for not giving me my freaking thing. But that's it. So have a good rest of your week, and we will talk to you next time.